every single day gives you a choice before the world even starts talking to you. Before the noise, before the pressure, before the excuses. And most people don't realize this, but the way you begin your morning quietly decides the direction of your life. Not in one dramatic moment, not overnight, but slowly, consistently, without asking for permission. Mornings are not just a routine, they are a declaration. A declaration of who's in control. Most people wake up and immediately react. They check their phone. They absorb other people's opinions, other people's problems, other people's expectations. Before they even stand up, they've already handed their power away. And then they wonder why they feel behind, unfocused, tired, and frustrated. It's because they never took ownership of the first battle of the day, the battle for their mind. See, greatness doesn't start when the crowd is watching. It starts when nobody is around. It starts in silence. It starts in discipline. It starts when you do what's necessary instead of what's comfortable. The morning is where you either build momentum or you build excuses. There is no neutral. You are either preparing yourself to win or you are training yourself to drift. Successful people don't wait for motivation to show up. They move first. They decide first. They align their thoughts before the world tries to pull them in every direction. Because when you win the morning, you don't spend the rest of the day chasing confidence. You carry it with you. So if you're tired of feeling stuck, tired of starting over, tired of knowing you're capable of more, don't look for a miracle. Look at your morning, change how you start, and everything else will start to change right after that. How you start your morning is not a small detail. It is a signal you send to yourself about who is in control of your life. The first moments after you wake up are when your mind is most open, most impressionable, and most honest. If the day begins in chaos, rushing, and distraction, your mind learns to operate from reaction instead of intention. But when the day begins with purpose, even in the smallest way, you create momentum that follows you long after the sun comes up. Most people wake up already behind. They grab their phone, scroll through other people's lives, absorb news, stress, and opinions that have nothing to do with their own direction. Before they even stand up, their mind is cluttered. That clutter carries into every decision they make. Focus becomes harder. Confidence feels distant. And they wonder why their days feel heavy. It's because they never claimed ownership of the beginning. When you start the morning with intention, you remind yourself that you are not a victim of time, pressure, or circumstance. Whether it's a few minutes of silence, a short walk, reading something that sharpens your thinking, or simply planning your day, you are telling your mind that you lead first. That simple act builds self-trust, and self-trust is the foundation of confidence. You don't need hours, you need consistency. Small choices, repeated every morning, shape your identity. Over time, your mornings train your discipline. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop waiting to feel ready. You begin to move with clarity. That clarity spreads into your work, your relationships, and the way you handle challenges. The people who build extraordinary lives don't rely on bursts of motivation. They rely on structured beginnings. They win early so the day doesn't have to rescue them later. If this message helped you rethink the power of your mornings, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more motivation. that helps you take control of your mindset and your life discipline before comfort is a decision that reshapes everything, especially in the quiet hours of the morning. Most people let comfort lead. They hit snooze, delay responsibility, and choose ease over effort, telling themselves they'll make it up later. But later rarely comes. Every time comfort wins first, discipline loses strength. And when discipline is weak, potential struggles to stand. The morning is the moment where that choice is clearest, because nothing is demanding your attention yet, except your own will. When you choose discipline before comfort, you teach your mind that feelings do not dictate action. You show yourself that you can move even when it's inconvenient, even when it's uncomfortable. That lesson carries into the rest of the day. You stop waiting for the right mood. You stop negotiating with excuses. You begin to act from commitment rather than emotion. That shift alone can change the trajectory of a life. Comfort promises relief, but it never delivers progress. It keeps you in familiar patterns that feel safe, but slowly limit your growth. Discipline, on the other hand, feels heavy at first, but it creates freedom. It frees you from guilt, from regret, from the constant feeling that you should be doing more. Every disciplined action in the morning becomes proof that you are capable of leading yourself. That proof builds confidence, not the loud kind, but the quiet kind that doesn't shake when challenges appear. Choosing discipline early creates structure. Structure creates focus. Focus creates results. When you handle the hardest part of the day first, everything else feels lighter. Problems don't disappear, but your ability to face them strengthens. You become less reactive, more intentional. You don't chase motivation because you've already built momentum. Over time, discipline becomes your identity. You stop seeing it as effort and start seeing it as who you are. And once that happens, comfort no longer controls you. You control the pace, the direction, and the standard of your life winning. The mind early is about deciding what thoughts are allowed to lead you before the world tries to decide for you. The mind is most vulnerable in the morning because it has not yet been reinforced by intention. If you don't take control in those first moments, distractions, doubts, and outside pressures will fill the space. That is why so many people feel overwhelmed before the day even begins. They never chose their thoughts. They absorbed them. When you win the mind early, you set the tone for how you respond, not just how you act. You remind yourself of your purpose before problems show up. You focus on direction instead of distraction. This doesn't require perfection or long routines. It requires awareness. A few minutes of silence, a clear intention, or a deliberate thought can shift the entire day. The mind follows what it is fed first. Most people try to fight stress once it arrives, but by then, the mind is already tired. Winning early means preparing before pressure appears. It means building mental clarity before chaos demands it. When you begin the day grounded, you don't panic when challenges arise. You don't take things personally. You don't react from emotion. You move with control because you already chose your mindset. The morning is where confidence is created quietly, not through noise or hype, but through alignment. When your thoughts, values, and actions are aligned early, decisions become easier. Focus becomes sharper. Energy lasts longer. You stop wasting mental strength on things that don't matter. That saved energy becomes power when it's needed most. Over time, Winning the mind early trains resilience. You become less shaken by external events and more anchored in internal discipline. You learn that control is not about force, but about direction. And when you master the direction of your thoughts at the start of the day, you don't spend the rest of the day trying to catch up. You lead it from the first step forward. Small daily rituals may look insignificant from the outside, but they carry a power that most people underestimate. Confidence is not built in one big moment. It is built quietly through repetition. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, you reinforce trust in your own ability. That trust becomes confidence. Morning rituals work because they give you an early win, a reminder that you are capable of consistency. These rituals don't have to be complicated or dramatic. They can be as simple as making your bed, stretching your body, writing down your goals, or spending a few minutes in reflection. What matters is not the size of the ritual, but the certainty of it. When you repeat the same positive actions every morning, your mind begins to expect discipline instead of chaos. That expectation changes how you carry yourself through the day. Small rituals create structure, and structure creates stability. When life becomes unpredictable, your rituals become anchors. They ground you. They remind you who you are when distractions try to pull you in every direction. Confidence grows when you know you can rely on yourself. And reliability is built through consistent action, not sudden bursts of motivation. Over time, these daily rituals shape your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries and start seeing yourself as someone who does. That shift affects how you speak, how you walk, how you make decisions. You approach challenges with less hesitation because you've already proven to yourself day after day that you can follow through. Confidence stops being something you search for and becomes something you carry. Most people look for confidence in results or approval. But lasting confidence comes from preparation. It comes from knowing you showed up for yourself when it mattered most, before anyone else was watching. Small rituals may feel ordinary, but their impact is extraordinary. They quietly build a version of you that no obstacle can easily shake. Consistency is the quiet force that turns effort into achievement and intention into identity. One powerful morning does not change a life, but thousands of ordinary mornings, handled with discipline and purpose, absolutely do. Long-term success is never the result of a single breakthrough. It is the outcome of showing up again and again, especially on days when nothing feels special. When you commit to consistency each morning, you stop relying on luck and start building certainty. Most people underestimate how much small daily actions compound over time. They expect immediate results, and when those results don't appear, they lose faith. But success works like interest. It grows slowly, silently, and then suddenly all at once. Every focused morning, every disciplined choice, every intentional start adds to that growth. Even when progress feels invisible, it is still happening beneath the surface, shaping habits, sharpening character, and strengthening resolve. Consistency also simplifies life. You don't waste energy deciding whether to show up. You already decided. That decision frees your mind to focus on execution instead of negotiation. Over time, discipline becomes automatic. What once felt difficult becomes natural. You stop asking if you should do the work and start asking how to do it better. That shift is where real growth begins. The people who create lasting success don't live in extremes. They don't wait for perfect conditions or dramatic motivation. They trust their process. They respect their mornings. They understand that who they become is determined by what they repeatedly do when no one is watching. Consistency builds credibility with yourself, and that credibility fuels confidence that doesn't disappear under pressure. If this message reminded you that small, steady steps are what truly change a life, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more motivation that helps you stay consistent, focused, and moving forward every single day.